Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything about the detox, 7-day detox that I did along with a colon hydrotherapy. And this is a review on my detox. I'm going to tell you everything about it, what exactly went down, what happened during this detox, what is a detox, especially the one that I did, what is colon hydrotherapy, and the results that I got for myself and whether I recommend it or not. So without further ado, check it out. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so now. I actually went on a total detox, which is a physical detox but also a spiritual detox. That detox actually also entailed some colon hydrotherapy. So if you've never heard of that, it's basically a way to clean your colon from the inside. So you basically have to put this little straw-like thingy up your bum, connected to 18 liters of coffee enema, which is kind of like a very diluted coffee solution, and you kind of let that come inside of you, and then automatically your colon is just going to flush everything out. So I decided to do a little bit of a review because a lot of people have asked me questions about it and how I feel and how was it and what exactly happened during that detox. So it was a 7-day detox, and it is a physical detox, but it's also very much, I would say, spiritual as well, because as you get rid of the toxins that are in your body, you actually also release a lot of emotional baggage and things that you just kind of like were holding on to, negative feelings, etc. I went into the countryside to do that, but it is definitely something that you could try doing at home, although I would suggest that you kind of seek some medical advice beforehand. One of the first things that happens in that detox is that you need to shut down from the rest of the world. So, you know, no internet, no phone, no TV, no contact with the outside world, except for absolute emergencies. So it requires a little bit of preparation, you know, letting your friends and family know that you're just gonna go off the grid for 7 days and you are not going to be reachable. Another thing that happened during the detox is that you are actually fasting. You are on a liquid diet. So every day I had a big juice, maybe not a liter, but maybe a good half a liter of green juice made with a juicing machine. So you kind of remove all the fibers from the juice so that your body doesn't have to digest that fiber, and it doesn't ask your digestive system to be working, because your digestive system actually takes 70% of your energy. So that's why when we eat after that, we feel kind of like tired. So nothing solid, juicing and souping. So every morning I had a big juice, green, avoiding any sugars. So, you know, celery. I did have some green apples in the juice, spinach, salad as well, wheatgrass, and everything green, basically. So that was that, and then in the evening I would have a soup. Throughout the day I had to have lots of water, obviously, just to kind of like help my body eliminate all the toxins. During those 7 days I took a whole bunch of supplements. I did a supplement treatment. I never actually really take supplements on my day-to-day life. I just never really feel the need to take it, except, you know, maybe if it's like winter and I don't want to catch a cold, then I'll just grab some vitamin C every day. But other than that, I never really take any vitamins or anything. But during those 7 days, I took so many supplements like vitamin C. I got some bioglucan, which is something that helps your immune system. Fish oil, tryptophan at night only. I got, what else? Vitamin B3, which is really, really good for the skin. And other things that I didn't really know what it was. I just trusted the person that helped me through the detox. So you kind of have to do a bit of your own research in terms of like what you're missing in your body and what would be good for you to do a treatment of in terms of supplements, vitamin, amino acids, all that stuff. So I took supplements 4 times a day, maybe 10 pills 4 times a day. Obviously the ones you take at night are not the same, so please be careful. This requires a bit of research on your side. So, but yeah, 7 days of good supplements. Another aspect of this cleanse, as I said before, is the hydrotherapy, the colon hydrotherapy, which basically happens twice a day, every day for 7 days, where you are in the bathroom and you basically use this coffee enema solution, very, very diluted coffee in warm, kind of like a warmish water, and you basically sit on the throne with this kind of tube inside your rectum, and then your body just automatically just flushes everything out. So the first 2 days you basically just flush out the food that you've been eating before the detox. But then starting from the 3rd day, I started releasing other things that I will tell you about. Another aspect of this cleanse during these 7 days is that I actually went and visited several specialists. So the first day I went to see a physiotherapist. The second day I went to see a reflexologist. The 3rd day I went to see an acupuncturist. I went to a Reiki master, and then I also went to a crystal healer. So, and then I also did some steam room and had a couple of very long and good and strong massages. So this week is really about you. It's really about kind of like aligning back your body and going to see different specialists that you think you need in order to help you through that detox and just really open everything in your body to really flush out all those toxins. And then finally, the last aspect of this detox was that throughout this detox, you know, fasting is not easy, especially if that's not something that you do on a regular basis. You know, not having any contact with the outside world can be a little bit tricky for all of us. Like, I thought it was a lot more difficult, but actually it wasn't. But so during this whole time, you know, you're not meant to use any of these distractions that we usually use on a day-to-day basis, and so you get to spend a lot of time with yourself on your own, reading or just doing whatever, really, gardening and just good old things, you know, that we used to do before we had all this internet. And a lot of feelings can arise for you, and so during these 7 days, you are really, really encouraged to sit with your negative feelings, to really look at them and to process all that negative stuff and perhaps some emotional baggage that you've been holding on to all these years. So in terms of the results of the detox, because I know that that's what you want to hear about. Well, first and foremost, when I came home, I got on the scale and discovered that I actually had lost 2 kilos, which is not huge, but given the fact that I'm not overweight or anything, I'm already quite slim. That was kind of good. It actually helped me go down. Because I was kind of like stuck at just above 64 kilos, and I kind of wanted to bring it down a little bit, but I just couldn't manage to, you know, break the 64 kilo level, and with this detox I actually ended up being at 62. So right now I'm back at 63 something, but I haven't gone back over 64, which I'm kind of happy about. But it wasn't really about the weight loss, although I know that for some people it really helps them with a weight loss goal. Another thing that I got from this detox is my skin really cleared up. Like, my skin was glowing, and not just my face, but like throughout my body. I could just really feel that my skin was a lot more healthy, and kind of soft, but also firm. That is definitely thanks to the vitamin B3, which is meant to open the pores of your skin and flush out any toxins. Like, my hair was like stronger and shinier and not as greasy as it tends to become like on the next day. Another thing that happened is that I got to spend a lot of time with my own self, and I just kind of started painting, and I got to read a lot, books that I would normally not necessarily read, because usually I'm all about reading books that are about productivity and something that makes me better, or like self-improvement and things like that. But this time I was just like really letting go, and just giving myself the food, the mental food that I needed. And so I started reading different books. I read a book about animal spirit guides. I was reading The Meaning of My Dreams every single morning. And I started painting, which is really not something that I do. I just never do that. Maybe a doodle or something at a workshop, or I don't know. But I actually painted something quite serious, like a proper canvas, using paint, and I spent 4 days on a particular painting, and it was beautiful. And it was basically an animal spirit guide that I had intuitively received for a friend, and it was her birthday, and so I did that painting for her, and I just literally surprised my own self. And actually, since I've come back from my detox, I continued painting, and I decided to do the animal spirit guide of my fiance. And actually, it's right here. I'm gonna show it to you. So here's the animal spirit guide. Is a lion, and this is what I've been working on for the past 8 days. So yeah, this is not something like, as you see it here, you might think that this is something that I do. It looks like the painting of someone that paints regularly, but absolutely not. This is literally my second painting, and I'm just in awe at the creativity that just came out of me by just stopping and being with myself, and just having no distractions at all. This is what came out of me, and I was like, this is just amazing. Like, I had no idea that I could be so creative. So that was a beautiful surprise to myself. Another thing that I got during this cleanse is I did not miss one bit social media. My phone was off the whole week. I did not miss my phone. I did not miss internet. When I came back from my detox, I was not looking forward to opening my emails. I was actually feeling quite anxious. I felt quite a bit of anxiety in turning on my phone and seeing all these messages, just not wanting to deal with it. And actually, since I've come back, I've noticed that I have spent a lot less time on my phone. And it's just that I realized that it was just a massive distraction in my life, and it just like so much energy was being put into creating posts for Cool Girls Club and just social media, and just documenting every single thing that I did and making a post about it. And it's like, you know what, that's not necessary. Like, the noise that just comes out of social media is actually a massive distraction, and very much an energy sucker. What else? Oh my God, yes. What I got from this detox is basically the whole physical transformation. With the colon hydrotherapy, you kind of get rid of a lot of the food that was already in your system, but because you're only on a liquid diet, starting from the third day, I actually started releasing sort of like impacted plaque and deposits that were in my colon and things that I actually never digested. So imagine 34 years of eating 3 times a day almost, and just things that my body didn't know what to do with. When your colon doesn't know what to do with something, it just puts it aside into a little reservoir, and so I got rid of all that stuff, and I kid you not, they were like balls this size coming out of me, a lot of them, not just a few, a lot of them, and I was like, where is this coming from? I had no idea that I had all this thing in my stomach. By me getting rid of that stuff, you know, it was the things that I had physically not digested, but it was also a lot of emotions and a lot of things that I had not digested on an emotional level, on an energetic level, things that happened to me in the past that I kind of had still in the back of my mind and were resentful for and angry for and things like that. So really got rid of that and did feel the difference physically, but not only, I really felt the difference in my mind as well. During the remaining days of the colon hydrotherapy, I got rid of a parasite and I saw it. It was 2 centimeters long. It was basically like a little white worm, and it was ribbed and it was dead, and I saw that and I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this thing was inside of my body. What was it doing? Where did I catch it, you know? Interesting stuff. I also got rid of liver stone and just a lot of kind of like little calcifications. I got rid of a lot of candida, which is, I had a period in my life where I had a lot of thrush and vaginal infections and things like that, and even like stomach issues, and that was due to having an overpopulation of candida inside my body, and I got rid of a lot of that stuff, which is kind of like a whitish kind of substance. I got rid of a lot of bile. I basically had a whole day of just getting rid of bile, and bile is actually associated with anger, and I can tell you that during this detox I had to face a lot of the anger issues that I have, a lot of the resentment that I had for past circumstances, for, you know, against my parents, against my family, but also against my own self for some decisions that I've made in the past, and but all of that, really, I felt it got flushed away physically and emotionally. The overall change in me was that I am a lot more grounded in who I am, and I am a lot more calm. I mean, I was already kind of calm before, but now I'm just really grounded. My energy is a lot more high vibration. I'm a lot more focused as well. I really also got rid of some of the cravings that I had, you know, sugar, coffee, and I had a headache actually for 3 days, the first 3 days of the detox. And apparently that was me releasing all the toxins, you know, tobacco, coffee, sugar, and not having that, any of that, you know, was like basically starving all these toxins. So, I mean, overall, I would recommend it to anyone. I learned a lot of things during this detox, about my body, about myself. I learned why I tend to smoke weed. I don't consider myself like addicted or anything, but I did notice that there are certain periods in my life where I tend to use weed as a way to cope with something. My mind is just so fast and so busy and so overwhelmed with things that actually weed becomes a way for me to shut my mind off and go to sleep, basically. I also noticed why there's like this feeling inside of me that I always feel like I'm bored, I realized that it's because throughout my life, and actually since a very, very young age, pretty much since I was born, I've always gone through these like crazy adventures. I was kind of like put into that way of living that's very, very adventurous, that's very, very out there, very risky, not your typical childhood. I kind of became addicted to the adrenaline of that, and I realized that when I didn't have that in my life, which is kind of like drama, you know, like dramatic adventures, like epic adventures that I have to kind of like, they're like ordeals that I have to kind of survive, and at the end I'm the victorious gladiator, you know, and like, yes, I did it, you know, but was it really necessary to put myself through this whole thing? No, right? But I kind of did that unconsciously because that's what I've been programmed to do ever since I was born. And so whenever there isn't this kind of like epic dramatic adventure in my life, I feel bored. I am addicted to that sort of like adrenaline of going into some wild, crazy adventure, and putting myself through kind of like tough situations, and then proving to the entire world that I can manage and that I survived, you know. And actually, really, what I really learned in this detox is that that's exhausting, and I don't need to do that. Also, why I drink coffee, which is the same basically. It's like this stimulus, you know, like, oh, I'm bored, let me have a coffee. And sugar is the same. So I really became very, very aware of why I do what I do, why I consume the things that I consume. And not to say that, you know, you shouldn't smoke weed and you shouldn't have coffee and you shouldn't have sugar ever, but it's about the intention, you know, why are you doing that? So that was a massive, massive learning for me. This detox was a physical embodiment of that learning, and an integration on a physical level of that stuff that I know about the fact that I was angry and resentful and blah blah blah, and how it wasn't useful to me. And this was me actually physically getting rid of it, but also emotionally, and obviously in the toilet, seeing the stuff that came out of my body. You know, everything that I released physically was a reflection of what I needed to release on an emotional level. So man, that was just brilliant. Honestly, I had an amazing detox, and I really recommend everyone to do it. I think you can start on your own at home, and start with shutting down from the world, really, you know, isolating yourself, and for a week, getting back to being centered, being with your own self, removing all the distractions, spending time with your own self, go on a liquid diet, really give your body a rest. That was just so important. So yeah, guys, what I'm creating from here, you know, from this new space, you know, I really want to maintain that focus. I really want to maintain that stillness, that calm, that groundedness that I got from this detox. And I will, you know, from in the future, I really want to continue on that way. And actually, I'd love to do one of these detoxes once a year. Another thing that I'm even more committed to do after this detox is to live a life that I love. You know, and this has been my message ever since I started the YouTube channel, and Cool Girls Club is about, you know, we're not here to struggle and work hard and have all these hurdles and break through obstacles and whatnot. Like, I really believe that we're here to have an amazing time. I don't know about you, but I'm here to have an amazing time. And so this detox, if anything, made me commit even more to that purpose of mine, you know, of living a life that I love, and doing the things that I love on an everyday basis. You know, if you're not doing the things that you love on an everyday basis, you need to reconsider your life. So being even more excited about the stuff that I'm going to create next. I'm just really grateful for having had this experience, and I encourage everyone to do it. If there's anything in this video that I haven't covered and you have a question about, then just please let me know. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe to my channel. I am now back on track and I will be delivering videos every Wednesday. And if you're interested in joining the Cool Girls Club, I have a Facebook group, which I will put the link below, and you can just request to join the group. You have to be a woman, by the way. Sorry guys, this is a women-only group. So that's it for me. I wish you an amazing week. Give yourself some love, time, space, attention, because we actually really need it a lot more than what we think. So that's it for me, guys. Love you lots. And do let me know if there's any topic that you want me to cover. I'll be more than happy to do so. Bye.